Thank you for joining us, Fatiha.
Thank you for having me. It's an honour.
It's a pleasure to have you on, and you have picked probably one of the saddest films so far that anyone's picked. But before we get into that, I want to get to know you a little bit more.
Okay.
And for those people who don't know you, so tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and how you got into comedy.
So my name's Fatiha Elghorri, but some people pronounce it Elghorri.
Do you correct them?
No. It depends if they're fit or not. Anyway.
Oh, okay.
Depends.
For you. For you, I will. I get
exactly.
that.
I'll make exceptions. So yes, I'm born and bred East Londoner. I was born in Hackney. Yep.
Right.
In Hackney, and then moved to Bethnal Green. So I'm an East Ender. I live in both. I've spent half my life in Hackney, half in Bethnal Green.
Yeah.
I'm also Moroccan, they're North African descent, and I won't say descent. I'd say I am. I'm both, because there is like
first generation, second generation.
Yes, first generation. But you always have that. Like with your identity. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
You're like, I'm this and I'm this, but sometimes this side rejects you because they say you're that.
Yeah.
And then, do you know what I mean?
So
but there's always...
I'm Ugandan, and I consider myself Ugandan.
Yes.
But if I go to Uganda, I'm Mzungu, which
Yes.
means white person. So yeah,
It's
there's
the same
that.
thing. Yeah, I have the same thing, like in Morocco.
But then here it's like,
It's the same.
yeah.
Yeah. So so you have that. But and I'm a comedian, and yeah.
I want to know how did that go down? Because obviously you come from Muslim background and African families, they don't really understand comedian.
Yeah, I think I've got a massive family, so I've got 13 siblings. Wow. And I've got 5 brothers and 7 sisters, and I'm like the 12th child.
Oh,
so
wow.
There's 13 of us all
okay,
together.
so you got them to deal with that first. By the time we got to do, you were like free as a bird. You could do what you want. Love that.
And we just always grew up messing about, tearing each other up and stuff like that. So comedy was a big part of our family, always teasing my dad and stuff like that. And like my sister, she would... she'd get me to distract my dad, and then she'd go and paint his toenails, and my dad would lose his shit, and stuff like that. So yeah, it was like fun. So basically I've been married and divorced twice. I know I'm 40. I know I don't look it.
What? You're not. I clearly didn't do my research. How is she 40? What are you drinking? You need to share that with the community. Don't keep that a secret. You're not.
It's the praying, innit? It's
okay.
the praying.
I will be converting ASAP.
But you're beautiful, by the way, and.
Well, it's extra compliment coming from you.
Yeah.
We're going to do this all day. We'll go back and forth. Okay.
So yeah, and then after my second divorce, I wanted to do something for myself, not because the marriage was stopping me or anything like that, but I just, when you're in a relationship, you dedicate a lot to it, and that didn't give me any time to do the things that I wanted. So, and then when that ended, I was like, right, I'm going to do all the shit that I want to do now.
That's amazing, though.
Yeah.
Because some people go the other way and kind of become a cocoon, but you were like, no, I'm actually going to open up and try things that I haven't tried and do something for myself, which I really commend.
Thank you. I mean, I did become a little bit like that, like when someone tries to talk to you, like, oh, you're right, what's your name, can I have your number? I'm like, you're taking the piss. Do you want to get punched up? I'm all right. Do you know what I mean?
What do you want from me?
Yeah.
Just wanted your number, calm down.
Exactly. I'm like ready to wage World War III. But and then and I guess like that's it. And here I am now, like.
So do you feel
6
like
years later,
the comedy has helped you with that? It's been a cathartic experience, or?
No, I don't. Some people say that they use art in whatever form as a therapy, not for me.
Right.
Like my therapy is my pillow, and like crying to it.
Good cry. You can't go wrong with a good cry.
Exactly. So for me, no. I like to use it. I like to use it in a different way. I like to use it to smash stereotypes, to whatever people think they see. I throw it back at them through comedy and stuff. And then also through the comedy, kind of like try to conversations start. Do you know what I mean? Because then they see you and then they go, I've never seen a hijabi Muslim woman, and that's the conversation that starts. And that's how you can change people's perceptions. So that's what I try to do.
You know what I find hilarious? Because clearly I've been growing up, I saw hijabi women all the time. Like that was a norm for me. It was only once I went to like university and then the corporate world, and you go into that world of work, and then you're like, oh, oh, okay, this is what the rest of the world sees, because I'm from East London, so that's just quite, it's multicultural and normal. So the fact that you then realise that not everyone has the same experience is weird to me.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're really spoilt living in London and how multicultural it is, like you said. And you forget that for other people it's like, what?
Yeah.
They find it odd. And we forget that lots of people get most of their knowledge from TV or
so
papers.
Their reference points are the one or two people that they've seen, good or bad.
All those trashy newspapers that chat shit, like... Let's not mention exactly.
We're never going to mention it because you know who you are. Yeah, it's fine. But you've had an amazing 2021. I've seen you on various shows, Jonathan Ross, Russell Howard. You've just been smashing it. How have you found it?
Insane. Really overwhelming. I'm still I'm just Fatiha that lives in the East End. And I live near a railway bridge, a troll. You know what I mean? I'm just it's overwhelming but exciting, and lots of people reach out. I'm doing what I've set out that I wanted to do, to break down these barriers, start these conversations, and that's happening.
Good.
And so that's the main thing for me. But I put a lot of pressure on myself, and because I want to deliver, and it's.
Do you feel that you're representing a lot of people, so there's more pressure on you?
Yeah, massively. I get messages sometimes from Muslims saying, what you're doing is not very Muslim. And I'm like, oh, really? Come to my show and say it's my face.
And then they come, right?
They come and then they never leave. They've never been seen again.
Oh, no, now you've paid for your ticket. Oh, no. Exactly.
So, it's a bit like, so people are always going to have their opinion. There are ones that you're not funny, and I think that's okay, because I'm not for everyone, and because art is subjective, and I understand that, so that's okay. But I just don't like nastiness. You don't have to be nasty. If you don't like it, then carry on scrolling or turn the TV over. You don't have to tell me, because it's not going to stop me. You're just wasting your time.
I just don't know where people find the time.
Yeah, this is what I mean.
Was no one else raised with if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything, keep it to yourself? I don't know, that's just something that I was raised with, so I never understand it when I visually see that all the time on social media. How are you finding going viral? Because you've got millions of views and...
I'm getting shy, that's why I'm laughing.
I'm going to gash you, I told you today.
That's why I'm laughing. It's crazy. It's overwhelming. People recognise you in the street. Something so mad happened to me. The chances of this happening are a minimum, minuscule. I was walking. I got to my block and I was walking to my flat, to my entrance, and this girl was standing there looking at her phone, and she looked like she was lost. So I said to her, I was like, I'm going to ask her to make sure she's okay. A lot of people get lost where I am because it looks like a dead end, but it's not. But it's also a shortcut. So people take it and then they get lost and they don't realise. So anyway, so I was going to ask her, and then before I could ask her, she said, excuse me, can I ask you a question? And I said, of course. And then she looked at me, she went, oh my God, I've seen you on TikTok. And I was like,
you got viral on TikTok?
What? Yeah. And she was like, that's not the question, by the way. And I was like, and she was like, I really liked you, you made me laugh. And I was like, thank you so much. And I hugged her. And I was like, woo. Don't tell the Prime Minister, because they might come and lock me up, try to charge me 10 grand.
He can talk.
Yeah, exactly.
So
So that was mad. And then I showed her how to get out of there and stuff. But it's crazy. When you just still see, you don't feel it, you don't really see it. Yeah.
So you won't see yourself any other way than yourself.
Yeah.
I saw the flirting with The Rock. Jonathan Ross. I mean, I think all of us were like, yes, go for it.
I had to shoot my shot.
Why not? How was that?
That was crazy.
Yeah,
that was.
He's
insane.
So charming as well. So it just makes it worse.
He is. I know. I was like,
crush my dreams. So then I feel like I know there's no hope, but you're just charming.
There was a bit they didn't show in that, because straight afterwards, Jonathan Ross went on and asked him a question.
Yeah.
And I turned to Jonathan, I was like, why are you asking him a question? Let him answer my question.
Exactly, blocking.
Exactly. Why are you trying to mess up my love life? Cock blocking. What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
And and he was just laughing. But hopefully, I would like to get back in the studio when he's there, real life.
Yes.
And that my mum will have a heart attack. My sister's going to me, can you just touch him? I'm like, he's not really there.
We were talking earlier about Mo's show that he had on, and
Yes.
a lot of his guests have been on the show, Ola being one of them as well, and we had a very candid conversation about being, you know, black, African, hijab wearing, like all of that wrapped into one. How do you feel now things are changing? Like, because I love it, because that's normal to me, as we were saying.
Yes.
So is it nice to have kind of someone in the circuit that you can relate to, at least have these conversations, like identify with?
Yeah, absolutely. It's nice to see that change and to see other people like you, more representation.
Yeah.
Not just for myself to have someone else to talk to on the circuit, but also for the young people coming up, where they feel that maybe they can't, you know. Loads of people after my gigs, especially when I do like Muslim gigs, they'll come up to me and they say, I'm divorced, and like my life kind of ended after I was divorced. And I'm like, no sis, come with me, I will take you to the club. Do you know what I mean? But
we'll have a good time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not, so it's important for the people coming up, you know, our future generations, our children, our grandchildren, our nieces, our nephews.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I'm happy. I'm really happy, and I'm happy for what's to come, to more people, hopefully, more representation.
Yeah. No, it makes me so happy, and as I said to you, that's why I love getting more women on the show as well, because there's different opinions that should be shared.
Can I ask you what? I wanted to ask you as well. Like, sorry, I'm going to take your job over for a little bit.
Oh, it's getting hot. Okay.
So tell me about this podcast and why you started it.
Oh,
I would
wow.
like to know.
I love it when the interviewee flips it. Like, okay, wasn't prepared, but so basically, my sister and I started a film club celebrating Black cinema at the beginning of last year, which was the worst time to start anything, clearly. But this was before the pandemic and the world ended. And then we had a few shows on, and obviously everything went into lockdown. And they were like really good success. And the reason why we started it was we just wanted to do something positive. We just wanted joy somewhere else that celebrated us and told a different narrative. And what we found is that for me growing up, I always watched these films when I shouldn't have, or at home, and never in the cinematic experience. So we put on old films and then branched into doing some new films that were being released with black leads, and that's the remit, has to have a black lead or the cast. And then during the lockdown, Adam, my friend, we decided, let's do podcasts and see if, you know, the actors, comedians, because we were all out of work. So see if they're about to have a chat, and, you know, everyone was up for it. So 4 series later, we're here.
I think it's a great thing, and I agree with you. Like, I never really saw it like that until you said, because you know, like you said, seeing black films, black cinema, or films with black leads in the cinema being, you know, like massive and stuff like that. And you're right, like you don't really see that.
No.
Now it's starting to change a tiny bit, just ever so slightly, but you're right, and we take that for, because we're so used to that not being the norm.
Exactly.
And it's
just the black thing, and it's not, because I enjoy white stories all the time, which are not white stories, they're just stories. And so why are black stories, and why can't we all just enjoy them, or an African story, or whatever it might be? And that was the frustration a little bit, and I realised that not a lot of people, it was just in our community, we've watched Poetic Justice, or, you know, Love Jones, or whatever it might be. Other people had no idea. Like, some of my white friends were like, what? Jada Pinkett was acting in 1996? You're lying. Kind of thing. So, yeah, that's why.
Yeah, I like it. I love it. And I want to come back again.
Oh,
so I've got loads of other things.
You were definitely more than welcome to come. That would be amazing. What's your ultimate ambition Netflix special?
What?
If you had to have like a Netflix special, what would it be? What would your ambition for it be?
What if I had to have one? It would probably be definitely a stand-up one. That's if I had one. Yeah, it would just be stand-up. Yeah, doing jokes, talking to the crowd, and
Netflix segment.
Stuff like that. Yeah, Netflix, can you call me please? Like, can you just stop playing hard to get?
Drop of the bag. It's good. We're good to go.
Stop gaslighting me. Just do it.
Exactly. But we're here to celebrate all things black cinema. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, you picked legit one of the saddest films I've ever watched in my life. And I've only watched it once up until this point, because obviously I had to watch it for the podcast. Precious. Because I don't know. I don't think anyone's life could get more sad. Like, I thought watching it, every time it like turned the corner, I was like, oh my God, it gets worse.
Yes.
Like, it just gets worse.
Yes.
Why did you pick Precious?
It's
It's all right.
It's tough. I love that film because I think there's such good actors in it. Like Monique is in it, and I hated her after I watched that. That's how I knew
She was
she was good.
I looked at her sideways I was like, I don't know if we can ever be friends again. Yeah.
She was horrible, and she won an Oscar for it.
Absolutely, best supporting actress, and damn,
she deserved.
She deserved that.
100% deserved.
Yeah.
And then I only started liking her when I saw her in a Martin Lawrence film, a comedy, and then I was like, okay, I like her.
Okay, she was acting.
Yeah.
She's not really like that. Okay, cool.
So the main character, who is, I think her name is Gabore CDB. I hope I said that right.
Precious.
Yes.
Jones.
Yes. She, I don't know, I think the character goes through a lot of struggles, but at the end there is hope, you know, and I think loads of people can relate with that. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I don't know. Just
it's
the
a painful
of
journey. Like, her journey is so painful. And I don't, watching it again, I don't think she realised going through it, because she's a child.
Yes.
Until she met the other teacher and she kind of like saw this other life. And it's quite sad what your norm can quickly become. Yes.
Absolutely. And yeah, and I agree with you. I don't think she does. She thinks this is normal life. It happens to every kid. It's normal that she can't read and write at a teenage age and stuff like that, and the hopelessness of it. And
the giving birth to her father's children.
Yes, exactly. And then I think she has HIV.
And just to add the cherry.
Yeah, exactly. But then she still, after all that, she came out. She got her own place. Started going to school, learned how to read. I'm
not gonna lie, at that moment I thought, what are you complaining about, Rach? Like, life isn't that bad.
Yes, no, it is.
Yeah.
It's really, it's like, I don't know, like, when my marriage ended, I had to leave, and then I ended up living in a hostel, a women's hostel, and and I saw some of the worst parts of life, and even to this day, like, I tried to shut that stuff out because it was really tough. Like, I saw some things that would destroy, like, you can't believe in humanity after some of the things that I've seen, you know.
Did you ever speak to anyone about that experience?
Not really. Hard. Yeah, I tried to like shove it. Yeah, because I can't. Because if I look back into that, it's just really painful.
Yeah, open up a can of worms.
And hard and stuff. And so like, and then I see that in that film. I see that, like, the depravity of the dad and how the mum could let that happen. And
as a woman, and seeing that, I think I hate her more than even the dad, because especially when she's talking to Mariah Carey's character and retelling that story of when it began, I genuinely, up till now, still want to punch her in the head.
Yes.
Like, I don't know how Mariah, as acting that person, was able to just sit through that. I think I would have killed her.
Yes. And the jealousy, like, she's jealous. She's like, oh, he fancied his daughter. I'm like, have you lost your mind?
But there's people out there. There must, which is the sick part, and it's just, you had a child.
Yeah. And I'm sure that mum must have come from something similar. Not that excuses it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, hurt people.
Yeah, exactly. And I know they don't talk about that in the film.
No.
But for you to think that, to
it's
be jealous of your own flesh, like
disgusting.
Your daughter, and then just to let it happen and it's a really sad film, but it's the hope at the end of it. Sometimes I see these memes online and stuff, and there's like this is one of my favorite ones, and there's like a crack in the road, and in that crack a little flower comes up.
Yes.
And that's the hope. And look at all the bit around it. It's like all concrete. There's
like
no
diamonds.
water. And it comes, and I feel like that's what she's like. That main Precious. She's that little flower coming out of all that shit and horribleness and hopelessness. Like, it's all concrete. Nothing, no life grows there. Yeah. But yet she was able to grow. Do you know what I mean?
Something pure and
yeah, exactly.
Honestly, it's such a good story in terms of perseverance.
Yeah.
That, like, although it's sad and I cry literally beginning to end, I'm just like, this person's life is horrific. And there's a few films like that I can't really. They're amazing, but I can't watch over and over again.
Yes.
It's just like
The Colour Purple's one for me. Like,
I'm not doing that.
way.
I'm
Yeah,
not doing that.
I watched it when I was
Once,
a teenager.
it's fine.
Yeah,
That was it. 15 years ago, I don't need to ever watch it.
Still to this day, I want to kill Danny Glover. I'm like, you need to die.
And I was like, this is not the same guy. This is Lethal Weapon. What are you doing? Like, I find it so difficult. You know, we love you in Lethal Weapon.
Yes.
You in Colour Purple, not so much.
Like,
yeah.
no.
Do you remember the first time you watched it? Speaking about that.
Yeah. So I was up late and I was watching TV, and you know when you just have something on and you're not really like, like maybe scrolling through your phone or whatever, and then it came on and I was like. And then I was like, I don't know what this is.
Happening?
And then the beginning of it just caught my attention.
Yeah.
And then ended up watching the whole thing. And then and I've only ever seen it once. I can't do it again. I can't.
Did you not watch it again for this one?
Because I remember it. Because I remember it so well.
Yeah, I had to watch it, and even then I watched it in stages because I was like, I need a break. I need to go get a cup of tea because this is too painful.
Yeah. No, it is.
Were you crying as well throughout?
Yeah, for sure. And you know, she has during the film, she has like some positive people in her life, like the teacher.
Yes.
And then also like the
girls.
social worker. Yeah, and the other girls that she meets in the class.
Yeah.
And so there is like
some joy.
Yeah.
A little bit. The one piece of joy that I saw and that stood out to me was when, weirdly and ironically enough, she just had the baby and the second baby, and they're all in the suite, the room, and then the male nurse is like talking to her and whatever, and a bit they're flirting with him, and it was like everyone was laughing, and it was like, what? She's had a baby from her dad. Like, I feel like we're all just not addressing the elephant in the room here, and we're just acting like this is another normal birth.
Yeah.
But it was sad, but nice to see her smile for the first time during the film, because she hadn't seen that.
I guess for those her and those girls, that's a normal. That's a normal thing to have a, you know. Yeah, it is super crazy. But there were, you know, I don't know if you remember, like recently, Adele, she did that thing. A Night with Adele.
Yes.
And she brought her English teacher up.
Oh my God, I cried.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
I used to love my English teacher, like in school. Not the one in college, but in the first year of college I had a horrible one, and then the second year I had a better one. But yeah, she came, like she brought her up.
Yeah.
And that was the same thing with like the character that Paula Patton plays, the teacher. And, you know, like supporting her, being able to see, sometimes, you know, all it takes is one person to like see something good in you.
And to see you.
Yeah.
And to believe in you and to tell you that you are amazing and you can do anything. Especially when you're not getting that from your own mother.
Exactly. And it's hard as well, you know, like for her, like for Precious, like your parents are your foundation.
Of course.
You know, they teach you love, they teach you respect, they teach you all these they look after you, they teach you unity and family and all that. She didn't have any of that. She's got no foundation to build on. For her, that was normal for him to like rape her every night and stuff and get her pregnant, and do you know, and her mum to call her ugly and fat and put her down all the time, and you know, that was like, you know, you think every kid's life is like this.
Yeah.
It's the same like when I was married and then I was like, oh, this isn't right. And then, but for a long time I thought everyone's marriage is like that. Yeah. Do you know? And then I was like, no. This
your reference is what you're surrounding, your environment. So that's all you can go by.
Yeah.
And then you kind of get annoyed with yourself when you realize, oh, hold on a minute, this is not normal.
Yes.
It's a hard pill to take. And you see that in the film when she grabs her baby and she like storms back out, and Monique's character basically tries to kill her with what did she throw?
I think it was a frying pan
like
or something.
Something on her.
Some kitchen utensil.
Crazy.
And all she wanted was the money. She was like, don't take the kid.
Yeah.
I want the money, like the benefits. I'm going to lose my benefits and all
and
that.
There's women out there, parents out there that do that. Just
100%.
So sad.
Yeah.
Goddamn thing, and you have that smirk on your face, bitch. I will kill the Now smile about that. Smile about that, you fat bitch.
How did you find her performance, which we said she
great.
deserved the Oscar?
Yeah, 100%.
She was unrecognisable.
Yes, 100%. When I saw her in that Martin Lawrence thing, I was like, no,
not the same person.
No, I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm not watching her film. I hate her, you know, and stuff. But no, she deserved it and she did well.
Monique herself says she's been sexually abused in the past and was hesitant to take the role, but ultimately she did, playing the part she says was quite therapeutic for her. Would you ever take a dark role like that?
Maybe.
'Cause I could feel like that would be quite heavy on any actors. Or anyone playing a role like that. You need therapy from that role.
For sure. I think I prefer to be like laughing and stuff like that, but I don't know, I guess, you know, like the sadness that you feel sometimes, we all do, everyone feels happy and sad, we all have sad times, and I just want to keep those to myself, so I wouldn't want to channel them, but who knows, like you never say never, because you just don't know. If the right opportunity comes up, Netflix, hello, then you just never know. But yeah, I think I just like to make people laugh. When I was in school, I did GCSE drama, and for one class we did a performance, and I did a performance that I'd lost my wife, and I was holding her and I was crying and all this, and the teacher cried.
Oh, that's A star for you. If you make the teacher cry, and drama teachers are always quite tough as well, because they fancy themselves as like thespians, so to get them to cry is impressive.
So that was
that was my favourite lesson. I did drama as well. Miss it.
I do,
Good old days.
Pretending, opening the car. Start the car.
When I think about it now, it's like so bad, right? It's like, you must have been terrible, but he just told you were great, so it's fine. It's okay. Amazing research I found out while watching this film, that it was open auditions, and we can never say her name, Gabori, was on her way to school, and she just happened to try out. Like, I love those stories about fate, when you're not really, it was never in your intentions, but then you just happen to see it, and then you go through it. What do you think about that? Like, her performance was amazing for someone who didn't go for the role and kind of just, you know.
Yeah, no, definitely. That makes it even more special. Like you said, I like that fate and things are meant to be and coincidence and, you know, I think
and now I can never see anyone else playing
that. No, for sure. I agree with you. It's just perfect. Even like the way that she looks physically as well, that's also, you know, makes the role, makes her make it even more perfect for the role and stuff. So, she's great. It was tough that year because there was quite a few films, amazing films. So she was up for Best Leading Actress as well, but I can't remember who got it that year, but she definitely did deserve something because she was phenomenal. Definitely. The film was entered into loads of other like film festivals, and she won for a lot of those and stuff. So just not the big one, but and I don't think she's ever done a role since then. No, she was in she was in a film with a Jordan Peele film. I don't know if you saw it with what's her name? The singer Janelle Monáe. I don't know if you saw it, and it was kind of based now, but black people were getting kidnapped, and then on like a ranch somewhere, it was as if it was like the 1700s and slavery time. So they were like seeing planes and stuff, but they couldn't leave because they were basically held hostage. Yeah, and the thing is that they had to escape. But she was in there for a little bit, and it was like the first time I'd seen her in ages, and I was like, oh my God, precious. And she was a really sassy character. Another cameo we had was from Mariah Carey, who I think actually played really well. Yeah, I agree with you. I think that's her best performance ever. Least glamorous Mariah ever. Yes. I remember when I was watching it, I was like, is that Mariah Carey? No. I'm like, what did they do to her? And she actually cried and
that
stuff.
Those were genuine tears because when Monique's having that monologue and explaining why she allows this to happen to her daughter, those were genuine, like, you are a sick human being. Like, I don't know what to do right now. She wanted to punch her as much as we did, I think. It was like... She was... I don't know, like... Because her role was like support worker or child services, someone like, and I don't know how they do it because they see that day in, day out. Like, I don't know how you don't smash these parents up that behave like that. Any social worker, anything, 100%. Because you have to hear these stories. You have to go into these houses and take, separate families. Like, I can barely watch Some adverts are just so traumatizing without like crying.
Yeah.
So I'd be the worst person to go in there and be like, okay, I'm going to take your child away now. I know you're being a terrible parent, but it's still bad. And the kid doesn't know, so they're crying for their mum and their dad.
Because they don't know what's going on. It's wrong.
Yeah.
Again, we go back to that because for them it's a norm. It's it's normal. But they see like we're going back to, they see the worst parts of humanity, like the deprivation and heartlessness.
Yeah. And I don't know if there's enough in place to support these people, because I've got friends who work in these areas, and I don't think they do. Like, they have to take it upon themselves to be like, okay, I need some like mental health day, or I need to see a counsellor.
Yes.
Which is crazy. Because,
Yeah, no, I agree with you, and I believe the same. Like, it's a proper tough job, and there isn't enough support for them, 100%.
Yeah.
He gave me this baby and my one before it. I never seen
What'd you say he gave you?
nothing.
No, Clarice, you just said your father gave you something. I heard you just say.
You didn't hear shit.
I
didn't
heard
say
you say your
I
father.
Didn't say shit like
I
it.
don't care, honey.
Would you see Mariah Carey doing more acting, like, you know, Lady Gaga's gone on to do like these various roles, like amazingly as well, may I just add, like A Star Is Born? Or were you like, that was kind of like a one-off, let's keep it moving?
Oh, I think it would be good if she could do more roles like that, showing like the vulnerability and
the different sides to Mariah.
rather than music ones or dancing ones or something like that.
Yeah.
But showing, because she did really well.
Yeah, she did. Another musical cameo was Lenny Kravitz. What did you think?
He was the nurse. Yeah.
He's so cool though. It's just so annoying. Like, even as a nurse, you're just like, you can be my nurse. You know what I mean? Like,
he was nice because he was a bit of hope for Precious as well, and you know he saw, you know, like you said,
he saw her.
He actually saw her, and so I thought that was nice. It was and it was like the first male in her life that wasn't a sexual.
Yes. That wasn't,
you know,
trying to get something from her.
Exactly.
Yeah, predator.
Exactly. I shouldn't really say sexual because that was abuse, but it was he was like a non-predator
and when
in
he
her
gives
life.
her the 20 quid at Christmas in the card, and her face is just like, it just said a million words to me, because it was like, why is he giving me this? No one's ever given me anything without wanting something. And it kind of broke my heart. Like, and I know that was like a happy moment in the film, but even that was like, why? Why this poor child? Yeah,
it's just peeling back. That scene just peels back another layer of the damage that she's had, and she's a nice kid. Yeah, she's a good kid. She's a caring kid. Yeah,
you know, she hasn't become an absolute monster. She's still got that goodness in her, and she wants to be good and wants to have a happy life.
Yes.
And her little daydreams that she has of being like a superstar and getting her light skin bae, which makes me laugh. In 1987, I guess that was the thing. But it's hard that's her coping mechanism, to daydream another life.
Yeah.
And it's funny, she has a lot of those when she gets concussion from her mum, like knocking her out with whatever instrument she's found around her, which is just, she's a psychopath.
Yeah, she proper is. And, you know, like the escapism, like you said, when she's dreaming, when she has these daydreams, and it's so sad when you think about it, because like these are just dreams. Yeah. She never thinks she can have that, and it's like two separate lives, you know, like my life is here and that is over there, and I can't get to that. Yeah. You know, and it's quite like, and now again it's something else, but it's really sad, you know. It's such
heartbreak.
It's such a next time I promise you I'll bring something proper.
Please,
like,
it's pick a positive one. Talk about our Karina. We'll do that.
Yes.
Did you have any favourite scenes that stood out to you? I know it's quite hard because it's all tragic, but
yeah, I think just the one where she's walking out and she's got the suit when she tries to leave. She's got both children, and she carry, you know, and because the hope that you know she's going to go on to do something better and to be better. Yeah. For herself, and like that she's actually going to be a proper person, you know what I mean, like she's going to move on, she's going to raise her kids, she's going to have a relationship, she's going to get a job, all these things that she's was dreaming of are actually becoming a reality, and I that's my favourite bit, you know, and I just and
the fact that she got out
Yes,
some people don't get a chance to
don't.
get out and
Or
have
they-
the strength to,
Yeah.
because it is hard
Or they follow the same
pattern.
same pattern and stuff.
Which is an
So,
easier route, really, in terms of like that's all you know.
Yeah.
Fighting and kind of trying to do better for yourself is what needs to be commendable.
Yes, absolutely. And yeah, I don't know, like they're just, like when she walks out, she's like, it's like I deserve better, and she knows it. Do you know what I mean? And like her, you know, she knows she's different. She's breaking the cycle as well, you know. And those 2 kids are her brothers and her children. You know, it's 2 boys, I think she has, isn't it? I think it's 2 boys.
No, the first one's a girl, I think, and
then a boy, and I think the second.
the boy's Abdul.
So you know, she breaks the cycle, you know, and she knows
And
how
has to start from somewhere.
Exactly. And that is proper hard to someone that didn't even know they was in a cycle.
Yeah.
To someone that's like now's breaking it, like she's
Superstar.
a queen.
Yeah,
mate.
absolutely.
She's a queen, like.
And you know, like we were saying, watching it, we don't know what people are going through, and maybe drawing inspiration from watching a film like that and seeing someone kind of get through it. So as hard as they are to watch, I think they are important stories to tell.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Like you said, there's people that are going through that or have been through that, you know. So and it can, things like that also can inspire other people. Maybe if it's something you've lived through, and maybe you've never spoken about it, and then now you're like, okay, maybe now I can talk about it, or can give you hope. All these sort of things. So definitely important stories, important to watch for sure. Like,
and I think it also highlights the kind of the Me Too in terms of like, and there's a lot of people involved in abuse. I think not just the abuser.
Absolutely,
you know,
I agree.
the grandma needs to take accountability. Like everybody who kind of knew something was going on, or do you know what I mean? And it's just quite sad. Like your grandma is supposed to be like the matriarch of the family and supposed to protect everyone, and I guess all she can do is the best. But at the same time, it's like she was scared of her own daughter and saw the abuse going on and didn't really step in. So it's hard to see.
No, you're right. And there's also that taboo as well. Like if the grandma tells, although the right thing is to tell, but like if she's probably thinking, if I tell,
I don't want to look like
a grass, number one, the family's going to break up, people are going to talk. These are all the common...
And probably blame me.
You know,
Yeah.
Exactly. And she probably feels guilty too, but these are not excuses, obviously.
Oh,
you should always...
Yeah.
But just to explore that a little bit as well. And obviously, like the neighbours, people hear that kind
when she
of,
was walking out with the baby, I remember hearing someone, "Get out of there, girl," or something like that. And it was like, so you're all aware of what's going on in this house, but you're just letting it kind of slide. I don't know. It's difficult.
Exactly.
Sorry, go on.
No, I just remember like when I was younger, we used to live somewhere and the next door neighbour used to beat his wife really badly, and my mum would always call the police. And I always remember that, like, to never ever, if I ever see anything wrong, like, I'm in there. I am in there with my hands and my feet, everything. I am in there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because if you help someone, sometimes it doesn't. You can just talk to somebody.
Yeah.
You don't have to call the police. Well, obviously, if someone's life in danger, do that.
Yeah.
But like, I'm just obviously do what's right. But you like sometimes just reaching out to that person. Sometimes that's all they need. Like, and this is what the trigger was with Precious.
Yes.
They saw her.
Yeah.
Like you
and
said.
then she was able to see herself.
Exactly. And that's the thing. And so if people just be kind. That's what it is. Be kind.
So underrated.
Yeah. Kindness is so
Can go
strong.
so far.
100%, you know. Sure.
So we're moving on to a little bit more of a light-hearted section of the of the podcast.
Is this where we're going to go and like dating app and swipe?
Oh,
All
we
the
could
men.
do. We could do. I'll be a wicked wing girl. The quick fire round.
Yes.
So we just ask you, like, we'll start off with the first question. Who is your favourite black dramatic male actor?
Oh, do you know what? I've worked with this person actually.
That's
and
even
I
better.
think he's great. Jimmy Akingbola.
Okay.
I hope I said his name right.
And why Jimmy?
Because he's a nice person, but he enjoys what he does. He takes it very seriously. He puts his heart into it. He puts everything into it, and I rate him.
I love that. No, that's especially someone you know. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
What about black female actress?
I think it would have to be either Monique or Gabore.
We'll just keep changing it every time.
She can call me Fatima once if she likes, because I got her name wrong. So
or Rachael. I get Rachael, Rochelle, and it's like just Rachel with an A. It's very simple. Who are your favourite comedians?
So my favourite comedians are black comedians.
Yeah, she's on the right show.
I don't know, because we grew up watching like the Desmonds.
Yes.
I wish something like that would come back.
I was talking about this. I was like, we had a little segment there in the 90s, and then they were like, whoa, slow down, guys. We're letting them have way too much airtime.
There was another show, but I can't remember it, but I'm sure we watched it.
I
can't remember the name, but like, the Desmond stuff, I don't know, we grew up like, watching black shows and stuff, and they were the best, and I wish they'd come back.
Even a bit later on, we had 3 Non-Blondes, which was one of my favourite things ever. And I'm like, when is something like that ever going to come back? Because I used to cry with laughter.
Yes, same.
So much. Miss Jocelyn is
I was going to say.
freaking hilarious. Like, she's an absolute queen, and she's one of those people, if I ever saw her, I will scream and run up to her like, you are amazing.
Do you know one of the 3 Non-Blondes, Ninia Benjamin?
Yes.
Like, I've performed with her before.
Brilliant.
A few times. She's great.
Yeah.
But
they're great.
They're all so good. But like, the one with little Miss Jocelyn, when she goes in Oxford Street, she's got that sign up. He's holding the sign, and then I'm not even going to say what it says on it. You can.
No, no, we'll just clip that in. We'll just pop it in.
And then the man's like comes up to her, and he's like, what does that say? And then she tells him, and then he's like, do you have £10? She's like, you see, the sign's true. The sign is true. So I love it. And the one where she's in her office, when she works in her office, and what's his name? Do you know from EastEnders, Ray? Is it Ray from EastEnders? Maybe that's his real name.
Oh no.
You know the guy that Kim gets with, the black guy?
Kim's the sister of
Denise.
When I haven't watched EastEnders in like 10.
There's a guy, I can't remember, I'm sure his real name might be Ray. He's fit.
Noted.
Okay. So you have to like, and then he comes, you have to see him, and then he comes in as a maintenance guy. Right. And he comes in, and then he talks to her, he's like, you're right, sister, and then she drags him in the office, and she's like, can you shut up, they don't know I'm black. And he's like, what?
I feel like that happened a lot last year, where a few people were like, oh, you're black in the office with the BLM movement going on.
Oh, for yourself? Did you?
In general, I feel like people saw colour finally, maybe a little bit.
Did you find it uncomfortable?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Did people try to engage you a lot into?
Yes.
Or try to be like, I'm BLM?
Yeah, you don't prove anything to me. Just hire more black people and pay us properly. That's all I need you to do, and give us respect. I don't think I'm asking for too much, but I
agree.
And read some books, maybe. I don't know. I'm just saying. That was.
And don't touch my hair.
And don't. If I got paid for every time a white person touched my hair, I would be super rich. I'll be rich. Your favourite black-led movie?
So I've got a few. Can I say a few?
Of course
So I'll do a female one and male one. So like, I think my favourite one has to be like Rush Hour. I know. I'm sorry. That's
no.
like,
Why are you saying sorry? I love Rush Hour. Rush Hour is my movie. Yeah. Like Chris Tucker.
Oh, I love him. He's hilarious. He's
Amazing.
So good.
Amazing.
Like,
yeah.
I love. Did you ever see him in what was that film? Jennifer Lawrence is in it, and Bradley. Is it Bradley Cooper? The Silver Linings. It's
Wait, he was in that?
Yeah, Chris Tucker.
How did I miss that?
Because he was in the mental institute with.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember?
Right.
And that was the first serious role
that
I've seen him in. And then when he was like, and then because he escaped the mental institute, and then
I don't even remember that part.
It was only, I think it's at the beginning. They only show him in it like twice.
Right.
But again, it was the kind of Mariah Carey thing. He was so serious.
Yeah.
And you could see, and then he ran away, and then he ended up saying to like Bradley Cooper, I think it is Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, it's Bradley Cooper, yeah.
And he was like, I have to go back. This is not. And then because he kept on running away whenever he could get out.
Yeah.
And then in the end, he realised, like, I really do need help and I need to go back. And then he ends up going back himself. So yeah, that's the first one I've seen him in. But yeah, that's one of my favourite films. I just love it.
Yeah, no, I love Rush Hour. This has a special place in my heart.
And then can I do a female one?
Yes.
So my favourite female one would have to be like Jumping Jack Flash with Whoopi Goldberg. Have you ever seen that?
Of course I have.
So good.
Whoopi was the queen of the 90s, I want to say, late 80s, whatever it was. She was the queen, and I feel like some people forget. Put some respect on Whoopi's name. Like, she is a very versatile actress. Like,
I love her. I love her in that. And then what was the other one? Ghost.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Smashed it in Ghost.
Yeah.
Like, I just love her. I just love her.
Just so good. Yeah, Whoopi is queen. If you had to make a film about you, who would play you?
Jennifer Lawrence. I'm joking. Can you imagine? My mum would go mad. She'd be like, Fatiha, what is this?
Well, white people are always playing black characters, aren't they? So
I'd get. Do you know who I'd get? Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, she's a fitty. She's a fitty.
I don't know, to be honest with you. Maybe myself.
Yes.
That would be nice.
That would be good. What would it be called?
It would be called Enne. I say that a lot.
That would be fantastic. So if you had to direct people to entice them to watch Precious if they haven't seen it, which will be a tough task anyway, what scene would it be and why?
What scene? I would say maybe, I don't know, there's so many tough ones, isn't it? Maybe the scene where he's giving her the money, and then I would say, and then some of the scenes where she's having the daydreams as well, because they don't show the horror, the extent of the horror that she's in. Yeah. So maybe that.
Yeah.
I wish they leave me alone.
That's what she get anyway. Nah.
I didn't know whether to go trauma and just be like, just before, when they have that big fight, because you would want to know why they're having a fight.
Yeah.
Or when she's just about to throw something
That's
at her
a good
head,
one, actually.
Where you're
no, that's good, because then people would watch it and be like, why did she do that? What's going on here? What's the relationship?
Yeah.
So no, that's a good one. I agree.
There's just so much trauma in that. But Fatiha, it has been an absolute pleasure speaking to you. And please come again and we'll speak about Karina, because I think you're great, and enjoy the many views that you're getting on TikTok. I am sharing. I am one of those people.
Thank you. You're the best.
And for those people who haven't watched it, go watch Precious. Amazing cast and performances. But it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you.
Thank you for having me. And people, listen to the other episodes. They've got great episodes. They've got great guests.
Oh, thank you.
Please, watch them.
Thank you.
Just watch it in it as I'll be at your house.
You heard it. You heard it here.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
You are more than welcome.